The New Orleans Saints, a team that almost always seems to compete, and they either just barely miss the playoffs or they just barely sneak into the playoffs. Unfortunately for them, 2023 was a year where they just barely missed out. Obviously, the big storyline for them last year was bringing in Derek Carr on a, at the time, felt like really, really expensive contract, and still, it doesn't feel great, but when you look at that quarterback market, it's about in line. Derek Carr was not bad last season. He wasn't amazing, but I would say that nobody was shocked by the way he played. He just felt like Derek Carr, which isn't necessarily bad. Obviously finished the season out a lot stronger than really kind of the up and down season that they had. One week he was amazing, another week you're like, who is this guy? Why are we starting him? Let's bench him. And of course, in a Madden sense, there's not really much going on. A 75 overall quarterback who is 33 years old, decent rating. You could definitely get away with using him, but not really your long-term option. And of course, with the dead hit of, I think, $32 million in game, I think in real life it's like 50, 60, something crazy. You're not really going to get rid of him either. Run game, Alvin Kamara has obviously regressed over time, but I can't lie, a lack of a truly scary pass attack and an offensive line that is not only always injured, but just not that great when healthy anyways, which you can't even argue because they're never healthy. It's tough. It's not an easy position to play. Of course, more of a receiver anyways. Still can get the job done, but as a pure running back, you know, the yards per carry aren't great. Kendre Miller didn't really get to play much. And then looking at the wide receivers, obviously Olave is wide receiver one by far. Shaheed showed some moments, and then A.T. Perry didn't get to see a whole lot, but obviously still very young. They add Bub Means in the draft, and it sucks that he's 24 years old already, but a new weapon. They, of course, need a new tight end. Obviously, Taysom Hill, you know, he plays all over the field, but in a Madden sense, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with him. He's a better fullback. We had that overpowered position switches, and he goes like to an 86 or something at fullback, which it makes sense to play in there, but in game, it's kind of pointless. But looking at the offensive line, not a great one because Ryan Ramczyk, I'm pretty sure, is out for the season. And hell, I mean, honestly, maybe even out for his career, unfortunately. And then you enter Trevor Penning, who has just been a really bad draft pick. I mean, it has just not worked out at all. Cesar Ruiz, he's serviceable, nothing great. Obviously, Eric McCoy is their best lineman by far. Fuaga, gotta say, this tackle class, being as strong as it was, could not have happened at a better time for the Saints. And obviously, he's going to be plugged in at left tackle. And then they need a new left guard as well. It also kind of, like, I get it. You know, you go best available pick. You kind of like it. We're moving right over to the defense. Going Kool-Aid McKinstry when you already have a pretty damn strong cornerback group felt a little weird because they definitely kept going for the offensive line. I want to see who could they have had. Yeah, Jackson Powers Johnson was still on the board, but I think in fairness to them, if you think you're getting a really, really good player, which I think they are, I can't deny it either. Like Pressman Beast, I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be really good, but when you need as much as you do on the offensive line, I mean, are you playing the long game by going Kool-Aid McKinstry, or you go for an offensive lineman to maybe play the short game, which is kind of why you would bring in a Derek Carr? I'm not sure. Also, kind of looking at the backup quarterbacks, I didn't really mention it, but this is going to be our online team for the league. Obviously, a team that's not super bad, but it's definitely not super great. It's definitely a bottom 10 Madden team, and I probably will start Spencer Rattler, but ironically enough, I don't even know if he's number 2 in real life. I think he might even be QB3 for them. But looking at the defense, you know, we talked about Kool-Aid McKinstry, could have maybe went O-line when you really need that help, but you don't really hate it either. As far as, you know, our Saints franchise goes, it's a little weird to talk about, but might trade Adebo. Is it Edibo or Adebo? I think Edibo sounds cooler, but only because you have McKinstry and you don't really need 3 corners that bad. Could get a really good trade piece for him. But yeah, this team is not having problems at cornerback. This team is obviously perfectly fine. Lattimore has played at a pretty good level throughout his career. Same as, you know, Tyrann Mathieu, really. Howden's probably going to be your starting strong safety because he's the youngest option here. Decent hit power, not the best of his own. Okay speed. Then you look at the linebackers. An okay unit. I mean, potentially underrated unit even. Pete Warner, I think, was just paid. Demario Davis, obviously, is still playing at a really high level despite being, you know, at the beyond for retirement age. I think he's 35 years old. Willie Gay, obviously a lot of athleticism there, and, 26 years old. I don't know in this rebuild if he'll be able to get the job done, but in real life, obviously, there's still a lot of time for him to continue to develop, especially when you got a guy like Davis teaching him while playing alongside him. D-line, Chase Young was actually pretty damn good. And even though Foskey didn't really get to play much, and Granderson actually had a really good year, this is more of a rebuild decision where I don't want to start the 27-year-old whose ceiling is like basically max 10K per upgrade with only 77 finesse is rough. And it sucks because, like I said, in real life, he played pretty well. He's going to be the number one on that side. But Foskey's 23 years old. He's, young, obviously, in general. I just said that. 72 power move. He has time to develop. Then you look at the DTs where it sucks that Cameron Jordan, who is also on the older side, drops to star dev because now, he's basically done for. And then Brazil, rookie year. Let's just say first-round rookies have not done super well for this team. Not horrible, but not super well. And if you end up enjoying this video, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff on the channel. Tomorrow, I think, there's a good chance it'll be Superstar KO mode, whatever the hell they call it now, and probably the fantasy draft guide video, maybe something else on top of it. We'll see. But yeah, let's get into this rebuild. What team would you like to see next as well? That's another thing. Boom. Another thing, ironically enough, that makes the Saints very interesting to use is that they are very, very broke. You can see here, we have to pay Chase Young with negative $36 million in funds. Not exactly sure how you do this. I don't know if it's an EA problem. We know for years they, talk about the Packers and the Saints constantly pushing money forward and barely, keeping the team intact. But this seems like brokenly low, no? Like, entering the re-sign phase with negative 36 million funds seems a bit wild, no? It looks like we're going to probably have to try and tag Chase Young, who's going to be, like, ridiculously expensive at a tag, but you can't lose him. Adebo you can lose, you can't lose Chase Young, simply put. And it says we have money right now, so you probably would trade off Debo. It's too late for us specifically, I think. I think we've oh, maybe we didn't go. We might be at week 8, actually. So, like, do you not find a team right now that you can take, like, a second-round pick off of? Like, there's got to be a team that's like, we think we can win now, we just need a corner. Do we do the Chiefs? Imagine the Chiefs. Do we make the Chiefs better? Let's make the Chiefs better. Why not? I'm down. We're already having the season's over. Why not? So Adebo for a second-round pick from the Chiefs, who are obviously going to make the playoffs. It'll be a late second. I'm down because we can't afford him anyways. And we're going to finish the season either 6-11 or 7-10. Kind of hoping the Buccaneers, ironically enough, beat us so we can finish 6-11, get a little bit higher of a draft pick. And we do finish 6-11. This team could use a quarterback pretty desperately, right? I don't know what the stat line looks like for Mr. Derek Carr here, but just the age alone, the overall alone, I mean, it's pretty safe to say you need a quarterback. Like I said, in our franchise, when we actually use this team, I'm really starting to worry more about using this team with that money problem. But probably going to try Spencer Rattler and see if we can develop him. But yeah, Derek Carr, 21 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That is just not a good season. In real life, he had good enough of a year where, like, you're not too worried if he has to be the guy again. But if that was the season, yeah, I'd be pretty worried. And even with the Saints scheme, you don't really see the running back getting that many catches. Olave did what he could with the supporting cast he has and a quarterback that he has. Blocking was terrible. Fuaga gave up 16 sacks, which is just stupid. I know he's a lower overall, but the fact that he's so good ratings-wise, he's giving up that many sacks is just really annoying to see. And so is that loading bar for stats. I mean, okay. Willie Gay and Davis, they finished with over 100 tackles, sacks. Jordan and Chase Young, 6 and 5, which I mean, it's really low. To Mario Davis, I mean, defensive player of the year potentially. Kicking wasn't good. What about punting? It was okay. Let's take a look at the numbers. Yearly awards. I don't want to say numbers. Lamar Jackson wins MVP. I don't know what we could have won besides maybe defensive player of the year, which surprisingly was all the way down to number 4. That seems a little low. Running back at no, that's not. We're at defensive rookie of the year. What am I doing? Number 8. Quarterback at number none. I don't know why I expected to be on there. Running back, no. Wide receiver at 6. That's something. O-line, definitely not. We were terrible. Defensive line, no. Linebackers got to be all the way at 4. I guess they're all technically pass rushers, but really, I mean, 6 interceptions for a linebacker? I guess they've seen it before. I don't know. Cowboys, Ravens in the Super Bowl. Definitely rooting for the Ravens here. I want to see someone semi-new. It's not really new, but it's newer, kind of. Also, my allergies have been hitting me hard for some reason lately. Let's take a look at who wins it. It is the Cowboys. No one is shocked. There is 0 people that are shocked. Let's take a look at the team. Of course, you see some regressions. Derek Carr is down to a 69 overall. Kamara down to an 83, which actually isn't terrible considering he's only star development trade. He's 30 years old now. Still actually usable. You know, I'm getting knowledge for our franchise that we're going to have as well with, you know, doing a video like this. You know, it's not the ideal speed, but good juke ability still. Maybe I don't start Kendre Miller. I was going to start Kendre Miller, and Rattler might keep Kamara as the starter. I'm not sure there. Everyone else, you know, not really seeing much from the right tackle. Shaheed goes to an 81. I guess that's okay. Defensively, oh, that sucks. I did not want to see Demario Davis retire. Willie Gay goes to dev. That's something. No other dev ups. Also, Cameron Jordan retires. Does that help, though? Like, do they not take the money with them? Of course, let's take a look at the retirements anyways. Like, do you get saved by them retiring or not? Oh, and Taysom Hill. Do you really get saved now? I don't even know. You lose 3 really expensive players. And the punter retired after 2 years because he's so damn old. All right, we need to win the draft this year. What does that mean? I mean, I would say this. You know what? Why do I even click this? Like, I like having fun with the press conference and all that, but, like, do they even realize how hard it is to get an 80-plus overall? Like, there might be 1 or 2 a year. At best. Sometimes there's 0. And you have to be the one to get them. It's just like, what are we doing, you know? But let's see, how broke are we despite all those retirements? Do we genuinely only have $12 million? Wow, this is hands down the hardest team to rebuild. This is hands down. I don't care what anyone says. Especially from a user standpoint. So, yeah, you also have Willie Gay. So you're losing, like, all of your players here. Like, obviously, you know, Olave, it doesn't really count. But, yeah, this team is in a real bad hole. It is bad. It is, like, really bad. Can you keep Willie Gay and then tag Chase Young? So, obviously, you're in the hole for next season, but you don't have to worry about it technically. Like, I think that's how I maneuver this. That's how I'm going to maneuver. It is what it is. You have to replace Shaheed, but I liked Willie Gay because he developed. Not interested in resigning. What's that tag? Thankfully, the tag's only $21 million, so you're not super screwed. Olave, you almost debate 5th-year option. I'm going to 5th-year option him as well because I'm not sure what our financials are going to be like, so trying to push everything as long as as far as long as I can, I think is the smartest move. So let's move on, see if we can get rid of Carr. I doubt it. Like, how do you genuinely maneuver this team? Is there something wrong with EAs? Like I don't know how you maneuver this. Let's see. There's gotta be somebody that's making too much money and you can fix it. Okay, so Alvin Kamara is gone. You gotta get rid of. So you have to get rid of Kamara 100%. That's the only guy that can really save you. And I really wonder what happens if Cameron Jordan or Demario Davis or both, and even Taysom, don't retire. Like, does that money... Because realistically, that money should go away technically, right? So with that, the way we just played that, we're like... Okay, so we do have 7 mil. Okay. You can maneuver that, I think. Adebo goes a free agency, which I'm shocked by, because he's an 86 overall. He's only 26. But you can maneuver. So I don't know if I'm going to start Kendre Miller, but... So that's how you maneuver the Saints' financials. I don't even know if you can keep Willie Gay on average. You know, you might have to let him go, especially since you lose Shaheed anyways. But yeah, this is a team that's tough. It's a tough team to rebuild, I gotta say. And then, of course, with Derek Carr, you can get rid of him. I would actually argue you do get rid of him, right? You're saving 10 mil. You obviously got that penalty, but that should be split over 2 years anyways. You're saving a lot of money for this year. Like, a lot of money. You could probably even have kept Shaheed, realistically, but okay, we're making it work. Let's fair enough. We also got this extra second from the Chiefs for Mr. Adebo. But yeah, I mean, I think you save your money from free agency because, you know, with penalties and future contracts, you want to make sure that you have the means to get through another year. All right, we stand at 7 in the NFL draft. Quarterback, rushing. There's a really good pass rusher named Raphael Rushing. Unfortunately, we didn't get to fully scout somebody. I hate this stupid favorites thing. Okay, so favorites. We have 3 quarterbacks. Walker, who is a 2 to 3 talent, would still take him potentially if I needed to. And then we, of course, have Luke Morgan, who is technically the better option. He's an A short, A medium. Probably the guy I would take if I have a chance to take a quarterback here. If not, I mean, we'll pivot. We'll find a way. But we're hoping, looking at this lineup, that the only team here that would take QB would be the Cleveland Browns and then maybe the Titans. And I'm just hoping that is the facts of life. Rushing goes number 1 overall. Really good selection. Wide receiver for the Browns. We should be fine. Unless the game is as broken as it used to be. No quarterback for the Titans either. We should see 0 quarterbacks taken. And we do. Number 7 overall is going to be a freebie choice at quarterback. Of course, also scouted Flannery a little more. We'll take a look at him as well. But, I mean, looking at all the options, Luke Morgan, I would imagine, is the best option. Field general, which tells me he's probably not the strongest. Oh, he did have elite throw power. I thought he was the speedy guy. Either way, Luke Morgan, it's pretty straightforward. He's going to be the guy. Uh-oh. Please be hidden. Okay, that's fine. It says he's, the 36 true talent quarterback or player in the draft. We took him 7. It's going to say that we're, we reached, obviously, for a good reason. Why is he dressed like that? He looks like a bodyguard for the mob or something, but really good throw power, decent speed, and obviously hidden dev. That's a win. We, of course, now move on to the second round. I'm not trading up with a team like this. You need all the draft picks you can get. We have pick 60, of course, from the Chiefs. Let's take a look if there's any best available type players still remaining. We got running backs, which I think there was a couple of decent running backs there, but I'm not really interested in taking them. We have a couple of tight ends. I think Barnett was pretty damn good. He's a 3 to 4 vertical threat type, 6'3" with a lot of speed, A catching traffic. I mean, I just look for 1 or 2 ratings that are decent, and that's enough for me. I don't think he was the best tight end. I think there was better, but I think when you compare, he's so good though. But I say when you compare him to the other guys are really good too, but do you take that selection? I don't know. We really need wide receiver too. We have one of those speedy types. Gillespie could be one of those superstars. We'll see. Defenders, DT could also be a need. We have so many different needs, bro. Is tight end really that big of a need that I take one of those over a DT? How good was Briggs? I think he had one of the ratings as an A. A tackle. Where's his block shed? It wasn't? I scouted him further, I'm pretty sure. Who the hell was it? Was it Porter? I don't actually like either. Wow, we really suck. You know what? I am going to go into the mindset of this team is going to take a while to develop. So I'm going to take players that I think are going to be long-term great choices. This guy being as elite of an athlete as he is, can't be wrong. He just can't be. He is a B- also, 35th, so really close in true value. I accidentally backed out, so we'll never know. And here we are, late second with Nick Burton, who has a great speed, elite jumping, good agility, and a B zone coverage. I think he's going to be our starting strong safety, even if he's not hidden dev. 33 in true talent. Hidden dev, there you go. The safety position has always been really hard for me to draft, so landing a hidden dev guy is a dub. Let's move on to the next pick. I had a wide receiver as well that I was kind of interested in. I think this selection needs to be offensive line, though. We have no choice, right? Jowers is there, too, which is interesting, but we'll probably just go Gillespie. I know we're really selling at a huge position of need, which, of course, is that wide receiver position. I'm also thinking, though, if Ramczyk starts this year for us, who the hell is our right guard? I'm trying to think of who the hell... Oh, Ruiz? I don't even know if he's here. I think he might need a contract and we just let him go. We need linebacker, though, because obviously we just lost our starter. So how does that work? O-line, we don't really even have much scouted here. I think I'd be willing to take Werner. I mean, there's obviously a lot of question marks here, but I'm seeing some decent ratings in there. You also have Weber with a couple of decent ratings. I actually don't know. I really don't. Maybe I want a linebacker instead. I really, personally, I don't know if I really like the way all this is lined up. There's just so much crap, like, in my screen, and I just don't like that. McKee looks really good, though. Benjamin McKee. Oh, his speed sucks. Never mind. Devion Banfield. Can't tell if they're trying to trick me here. I really like Banfield. I'm going to go Banfield. He is, 62. Hidden. That's all right. That's fine. They might have all been good for all I know, and I'm just, like, overthinking it, but I'm going to go to the next pick. I don't know if we even going to have anybody there. I should have even checked if we had a 4th-round pick, which we do. I mean, thankfully. Any linemen there? Maybe I could have traded up. Oh, wow. Jowers is still there. I got to go Jowers. He's a 3-4 with speed. Might even go Gillespie as well. We need all the wide receivers we can get. True talent at 91. Uh-oh. Damn, he was slow. Don't get me wrong, 94 speed's not slow, technically, but considering he had a 4.28, yeah, that's slow. 4.28 40 time and you're that slow is not good. So we drafted 0 linemen, and I started the video talking about how they should have grabbed more linemen. Makes sense. Gillespie, one of the speed types. Is he superstar? We'll find out. 96 true talent. Unfortunately normal, but all that speed. He actually was speedy. And we're desperate for extra linemen, so Artie Gray, the day 3, we're going to grab, who is 214 in true talent. I'm sure he'll be great. This is why I don't like to draft much this late into the draft. And all the punters look pretty bad, but this guy is like the best. He has a D kick accuracy with good kick power, and he's also pretty tall, 6'5". That's going to be our punter. Oh, 103 true talent. And he's hidden? Okay. Hidden punter. We'll take it. Why not? We needed a punter. Our guy retired after 2 whole years in the league. Long career. And, yeah, here we are. 13 million spent through that draft. Kind of painful, but let's take a look at what we got. So 74, 74, 74, 73, 70, 70. 65, 69. Look at the quarterback, Luke Morgan, obviously the most important player of the draft, obviously, because he is the most important position in the league. Quarterback. Let's take a look at what his dev is. Obviously, we probably sold because we had any choice at quarterback, and we landed a star dev guy, which isn't bad, but yeah, I was hoping for something better. Would have been nice. Superstar, X-Vet, or something crazy. Tight end Wilcox. Obviously, I want to see the comparison between him and Barnett, because I could have easily traded down for this guy, traded for Barnett by trading down and maybe picked up a lineman in the process. Wearing number 80 is definitely a move. Star dev, I'm pained. Then we have Burton. Oh, yeah, we didn't even know. Did we know the tight end was hidden dev? I don't remember. Was it him or Burton that we skipped? We skipped one of them. I think it might have been the tight end. But yeah, I kind of expected hidden in fairness, so it's not like, oh my god, he's hidden. Star dev for the safety. He looks pretty good, though, I gotta admit. He does look really good. Middle linebacker, Banfield. Why not? He'll be a starting middle linebacker straight up. Really balanced, actually. Man coverage is a little iffy, but pretty damn good looking. Let's take a look at his actual dev. Did we land anyone higher than normal? Or star? Damn, we did. Superstar. Nice. Demario Davis reincarnated. We love to see it. Take a look at Ben Jowers, his ratings. Not great. This is not great, to be honest. And then Gillespie, you already know, is going to be like really bad at like catching or something. Which he's really bad at catching. He's athletic as hell. He'll be the wide receiver 3, I imagine. But who is the wide receiver 2? A.T. Perry? I mean, once again, we're just not really ready yet to compete. But we got ourselves a quarterback anyways. Let's take a look at all the other quarterback options. Pick 2 of 2, Flannery. Hidden dev, 23 years old. Obviously, the chances of me taking him because he was 23 when I had younger options was going to be pretty low. He was a 2 to 3. There's no way I could have taken him over our guy anyways. And his dev is star, so, I mean, I don't regret it. Our guy's younger, so he'll technically develop faster. Pick 7 was us, and then it looks like Walker and 4 are the last 2, which were on our list too. Wade Walker, 96 throw power, a lot of strength in this class. Take a look at what his dev was. They took him so much later than us too. Star dev. I mean, you can't risk the position that is that good, right? Like, you just can't. And then I don't even think Cody Austin was on my list, was he? Let's take a look at Cody Austin, 69 overall, normal dev. 20! What the hell? 28 years old. Wait, why did they take him? 28 years old. 99 throw. I mean, even if he was an X Factor, he would suck. What? And then Forbes was the other option. Normal development traits. Very fast, though. So we automatically sold because Barnett went a whole like 40 picks after the guy we took went. And he's also hidden development trade. He could even be higher dev, which would be really something. Okay, thankfully he's only star, so it doesn't feel as bad. But yeah, this is the story of we didn't risk players we thought were going to be good, and we ended up taking them 30, 40 picks higher than we needed to, technically. But Raphael Russian, is that generation? I don't think so. I think he's going to be star, superstar. I think it's really good, but I don't think it is. And I'd be wrong, of course. All right, here we are with year 2. Morgan, the new quarterback. Wilcox, the new tight end. Of course, Kendre Miller is going to get the starting job at the running back position. Still very young, 23 years old. A guy that, honestly, like, tell me I'm wrong. Would you not start this guy knowing you need to get rid of Kamara the next year if you're starting a Saints franchise? I mean, just correct me if I'm wrong. That's all I'm going to say. Wide receiver position, that is a position we definitely need to develop more. Ramczyk, we're going to make the argument that he's healthy. He's playing next season. And, of course, in our Saints franchise, absolutely going to. Probably even because it's a little bit of a different one. A lot of unrealistic things happen in that league. Probably start him year 1 anyways. Looking at the rest of the offensive line, need a new left guard. Technically, we got Trevor Penning there. We're hoping for a Sam Cosmi kind of like tackle the guard glow up. Cesar Ruiz, probably going to need to replace him as well. Defensively, Warner, I know he got a longer-term contract. In real life, I'll have to replicate that, I think. Willie Gay, obviously a 3-year $20, which I think is a great contract. And then Banfield, we're hoping, as a superstar, can be that new DeMario Davis. Safeties, Tyrann Mathieu still going strong as an 88 overall. We'll need to replace him at some point. And then McKinstry's already an 82 overall. They got like a kind of weird, what would it even be called? I don't even know, but I know the word for it. I just can't think of it, where like there's a baseline they want these young players that are playing significant snaps to hit by a certain point. You can see McKinstry and Foskey are really high, whereas Brzee, who is already kind of like 75, 76, only got to a 76, So some players went up a lot higher than others, even though the sliders, I have them set to about 130, 150 each. But regardless, this is the team going into year 2. Definitely a lot more potential, but still some more work needs to be done, of course. So the season has not gone well. We are winless halfway through the year. We have a lot of money, so that tag probably... So really, realistically, don't fifth your option Olave and then tag Chase Young to at least get to this point. And you can see that we have a lot of money and not a whole lot of talent. So you just got to get past that first year, and things definitely look up. Of course, with Chase Young, because he's a superstar, we're going to try to keep him. 4-year 88. Boom. That's really cheap, honestly. And there you go. $91 million left. Trevor Penning. I don't know. I really don't know. God, he's so raw, dude. But with the power blocking, he actually does fit a little bit better as a guard. We've really struggled to get offensive linemen, so do you not just keep him 1 year because you're probably going to have to replace Ruiz soon? Or do you not have to replace Ruiz? Lante Taylor as a backup's not terrible. Tyrann Mathieu, I'd rather wait till the season's over because if he regresses even harder, do we even want him? And then, of course, he'll be cheaper even if we do want him. And then as far as the rest goes, kicker would pay attention to how good he's playing, how well he's playing. 'Cause he did not have a great year last year, and he's looking like he's going to have just as bad of a year this year, so I don't think we're going to be re-signing him either. Money's not the problem. Having talent to actually re-sign is... I'll offer a 2-year 14. Anything higher, it's not happening. You're lucky, Trevor. You're lucky. I've never had this happen before. If we lose this game, we went winless. Can we do it? Please, Saints, do not sell. Yes! Winless! Winless! 0-17. That's making the thumbnail. I don't care. I've already got the clickbait set up. The Saints go 0-17 and Derek Carr gets cut. Both things are true. They're just not at the same time. Derek Carr is not at fault here. Derek Carr at least got 7 wins. This rookie, however, did not. Didn't change the scheme. We will now, of course, because, I mean, holy crap. There's some very winnable opponents in here. We have the Giants, the Panthers. The Rams are kind of a lower overall when Stafford goes, which I imagine he regressed pretty hard. Jets don't have... Jets are still pretty good even without Rodgers. Falcons, Cardinals, you can't beat any of those teams. Even once? Okay. We're 0-17. I don't think I've ever had that happen in a rebuild where it wasn't like, rebuilding a 0 overall team or whatever. Morgan was not great. Miller obviously wasn't great. Olave is doing what he can. Gillespie was actually pretty impressive, I got to be honest. Surprised he got that many catches. Fuaga is just really struggling. And then we look at the defense. Willie Gay and Banfield with over 100 tackles each. Pass rush, Chase Young really isn't putting up numbers. Foskey, 6, pretty good actually. Brzee at 5. It's got to be considered pretty good when you consider the average, right? We're getting 4 to 6 sacks a season for like our best players. So you get a guy like him doing that, and you're like, hey, not bad actually. Lamar Jackson, that 3 in a row technically, 2 in a row in this rebuild, 1 in real life. I think it is. Any award wins, Rookie of the Year, even though he really didn't deserve it in my opinion, and then Defensive Rookie of the Year, number 4. Best QB, obviously not on the list. Running back, obviously not on the list. Wide receiver, we had more touchdowns. Probably would have been. O-line, definitely not. D-line, definitely not. Linebacker at number 7, Willie Gaze. Really impressed me. 9 for Lattimore, and then kicker, obviously not on the list. Pick 1 overall, baby. That's all I can say. Packers versus Ravens in the Super Bowl. The Ravens did not win it last time, so I'll still allow it to be like, hey, if you win, sweet, it's a new team. It's fine. Let's see. Is Lamar Jackson's MVPs actually going to correlate to winning? It will not. They lose back-to-back Super Bowls. That is painful to witness. Dev up for Morgan because of Rookie of the Year. Yes. So undeserved. And I love it. I love every minute of it. So undeserved. The freest dev up you've ever seen. We'll take it. Of course, receiver's really not that great, so you can't really even blame him. Wilcox must have had a pretty good season if he was number 2 for Rookie of the Year. I was about to say, how well did he play? I kind of glanced over it. Oh, he was actually pretty good. Okay. Almost got the dev up without the Rookie of the Year award win. Willie Gay goes up in dev. I think that's it, though. But that's fine. That's all right. Willie Gay is really impressing. I really am not sure how he's doing so well, but he absolutely is. I like it. All right, so $100 million. Brzee, already a 5th-year option. Man, how is time flying by this quick? We'll just re-sign him straight up. And everyone else is gone. We now look at free agency with a $100 million free agent spending purse, if you will. Leo Chanel is being paid more than away. That is interesting. We don't need edge rusher, unfortunately, because that would have been a really good pickup. Joel Bitonio is a 1-year guy, so I don't really need him. Unless Ramczyk retired, which I don't think he did. We don't need tackle. I didn't even think about it. Tyrann Mathieu must have retired because I didn't see his name on the list of re-signings. That kind of sucks. Did we go Kyler Gordon, play him at safety? We've done it a few times. I mean, this team is... If there's any team to allow that to be the case, why wouldn't it be this team? Tyrann Mathieu, obviously. Perfect example. Kyler Gordon, let's see if we can do it. See if we can get him to safety, perhaps. The Bears want him back. We will not allow this. Sorry, but we are not having it. Elam also could play safety. A lot higher zone than man coverage, in fairness. And then the other safeties, pure safeties, really not looking that good. So obviously I don't want to spend the money there. And that's kind of it, right? Like, I'm not really thinking that anyone else is worth it. We could go DT. Like, I would think pick 1 overall. If there's a really good wide receiver, that's the way we go. But we might just trade down if there's not. And then still grab wide receiver. Grady Jarrett. We need a DT. Do we trust? Oh, he's really good. So I'll go for a 1-year deal. If he wants to do a 1-year 15, I'm down. But, yeah, DT is definitely a position of need. But if we can just keep, get Grady Jarrett here, that's fine. I think that's fine. We skip ahead. Let's see if we got anybody. Looks like we got, well, we don't know if we got someone, but we did. We got Kyler Gordon. And can we get Grady Jarrett? Oh, I don't want to pay him. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. The Bears trying to get their revenge. They can have it. So I looked through the draft. I really did not like the wide receiver options. And looking at our trade package for pick 1 overall, there are some interesting offers. The Bengals offering pick 22 this year with 150 this year, and a 3rd next year with T. Higgins. And then another one, if you're looking at wide receiver specifically, obviously you have Marvin Harrison Jr. That's not a terrible trade because, you're getting... It's not as high of a draft pick trade up, but yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr., that make no sense to trade him off. They just used a pick that was, very close to pick 1 overall anyways. But this Eagles one is very interesting because they're not giving us those extra draft picks, but they're giving us a really good wide receiver in Devontae Smith, the 27-year-old. Very intriguing stuff. I think there's a pretty good chance we end up taking a trade here that involves a wide receiver. So we're going to look at how all of these wide receivers specifically are playing and make a decision from there. And I decided to do our very own trade. Instead of taking what they were offering, I ended up giving them pick 1 overall with 4 Devontae Smith and pick 26. Devontae Smith, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. We basically pair Olave up with another Olave. Very similar style of players, with speed and really their builds. I think this is a really good wide receiver duo, and I think Devontae even needs a contract coming up here. So if there was ever a really good player that was going to be traded, it would make sense for it to be him. Philadelphia, I'm not sure what they want at number 1, but they offered the trade, and I just made it work a little bit more for us. We need a wide receiver. A wide receiver is kind of weak in this class. It is what it is. That's where we're at. We're now in the draft with pick 26. Of course, we want to see what Philadelphia does first. They take wide receiver. Left tackle. Okay, they feel like they found themselves a generational tackle, I think. And I did not expect Peoples to be that good, and I am pretty happy that he is still there because I was absolutely looking to take Arrington here. Because Arrington actually looks really, really good. We need a safety pretty badly, too. But, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind I'm taking Mr. Peoples. I might even trade up for a safety. But Connor Peoples ends up a top 5 overall grade at running back. I'm willing to take him. Connor Peoples. Rank 2, A-, hidden dev. I wonder if he's actually generational. I don't know how he's still there. I went to my pick because I was like, I'm going to probably take a safety. So I don't really need to trade up, right? It's a safety. It's a nice position. It's a position we need, but it's not so important that I need to trade up for one. And yeah, we got really lucky. I don't know how he's still there. I get it's running back. A lot of teams already have running back, but still. And we actually make it to our pick to likely take Arrington on top of it. This draft so far is going perfectly. It is going perfectly. I also do have Jones, though, who has a 1 to 2 grade we know for a fact. So it is kind of intriguing. But I think Arrington looks better. So I'm going to go Arrington. Even though I don't know his actual true talent grade, all those Bs can't be wrong, right? DeMar Arrington, ranked 16 with a B. Hidden Dev, that's another great pick. We are kind of killing the draft. And we do have a 3rd round pick, right? We need an offensive lineman. We finally need to grab a lineman. We still need linebacker, don't get me wrong, but this is the year of the lineman for us for once. Is that cornerback still there, though? Juwan Rich, he's fast. How tall is he? Is he one of the 6'4"s? He's not. He looks good, but personally just don't need that position too bad. Guard, O-line, that position, definitely of need. So let's try to grab our very best offensive lineman. Hope they're hidden and plug them in somewhere. And you know what? I'm pivoting. I forgot we need DT. Nick Traylor's there. That's going to be my guy. Oh, he's number 2 DT anyways. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's go to the next pick. We did have a day 3 alignment, so we could still land one. Do we need a linebacker? I mean, suppose if you're trying to replace Pete Warner, which I guess in a way we kind of are. And then Creighton. Wow, Rich is still there, which is kind of surprising. But Creighton, he's pretty raw, if I'm not mistaken. But he's got good bench press reps. I don't really feel good about him, but I think we're desperate, so we're going to grab him. He was... Wait, 68? Hidden! That is a steal. I mean, you've got the run block power, and you got a couple of ratings like awareness that look good, and you're strong. That is a steal. That is such a clutch pick. It is so clutch. We could really have used the linebacker, but outside of that, which even technically we don't need, we could just use Pete Warner and Willie Gay again. This has gone well. And of course, at this point, I don't know why he's still here. I'm going to take him. Juan Rich. Why not? I don't understand. Why is he still here? Did he glitch out? Concerns about his speed. He's 91 speed. This has been a really good draft for us. Also, when you consider the fact that we traded pick 1 overall for a really proven wide receiver to also get really good talent during the draft is really impressive. And we have 2 positions. I might go McCree. I think he's one of those fast guys again. He's not one of those. He's fast, but he's not like, yeah, we don't need running back. I'm going to take him. Jason McCree, another wide receiver. Why not? He is also really high and hidden. I'm going to lose my voice at this rate. A catch, a short route. He's fast. Makes 50-50 balls look more like 80-20. Okay, that's just a little weird. Allergies already killing me and yelling over draft picks. Football's back, baby. Football season's back. No running back, unfortunately. We already got our wide receivers, but obviously we're going to have to take somebody random here. Also, we didn't grab wide receiver. Well, let's grab Docker. He's fast. Why not? 132.3. Very fast, like we said. Wide receiver's not really a problem anymore. But let's move to the next pick, which we don't actually have another pick for. I forgot we had the highest pick in the 7th round. It is what it is. We'll find a random kicker. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's take a look at these overalls. That running back, please be goated. Oh, and he is. The DT's not goated, though, I'll tell you that much. 80 overall for Connor Peoples. 93 speed, 95 excel, 85 truck, 87 strength, 90 carrying. Wow, 44 injury. Okay, that's... I still don't understand why EA does that, but... What's the dev? Is it... It's star. Oh, damn, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know why EA does that. There's no way they actually, in their mind, think that's a good idea to make really, really good players with that low of injury to where they're unusable. Like, 70 injury, maybe, is fine, but... Unusably bad injury of 44, that's got to just be a bug they never fix. There's no way they're that incompetent at making players. There's no way. Star dev, fair enough. Wish you would have been Superstar Plus. Let's put him somewhere in the 20s. 24, new free... did I not even change him to free safety? Nice. Trailer, I mean, we have no choice. He's going to have to play DT too. Oh, he's got good finesse, though. Okay, breakouts are harder to get than they used to be, so dev does matter more than ever. But still a good player. And then Creighton, I guess we'll take a look at his dev since we're here. 72 overall, 6'6", 245. He got that big frame with the strength. That's the reason why we even took him. It's because of some of those, like, intangibles, if you will. And he's a superstar. Okay. Wow, what a pick he was. Juan Rich, I really thought he was going to be normal dev because why would you fall that far? He's got literally no downside. Even his catching's decent. I don't know why he fell, but he's going to be a great number 3 for the next 4 seasons. Steal. Star dev, why not? Really good player. And I forgot, McCree was actually a hidden dev as well. Release is bad. He's one of those agile styles, which is, not bad. It's a style. Feeling superstar. Let's see if we get it. Superstar? Damn, no superstar. I was thinking of superstar for sure. I don't know what it is about free. I mean, there is it does take a while to scout, which is why I really don't, is why I do a lot of edits for it. It takes a while to scout, but I just forget who we sign. And yeah, Arrington's kind of being wasted because Kyler Gordon's going to be our free safety. There's no question about it. So, I mean, we'll take the depth. Why not? We could use the depth, but still could have easily went for that linebacker we were looking for if we really wanted to instead. But didn't. So we're getting one step closer to being like a complete team, I will admit. But as far as like, grabbing a safety that we didn't need, yeah, a little bit of a mistake. Season 3 coming off of an 0-17 season. Like I said, outside of a special kind of challenge rebuild, I don't think I've ever had a winless season. So this Saints team kind of takes the cake for that, which makes me even feel better about choosing them for our online franchise. We have kind of settled the contract issues and added a brand new superstar in Devontae Smith, the 93 overall. Probably needed a contract this year, wide receiver, because of course he got a 3-year deal in I believe in real life. And then as far as running back goes, we got a brand new running back, Peoples. O-line, obviously, new right guard / left guard could be used, and then Ramczyk, he's getting older, but we already have that with Creighton. We're just going to wait for him to start, though. You know what? We're not going to wait for him to start. Trevor Penning, sorry. We just paid you a 2-year 14. Just be happy to sit on the bench for money. Gordon, would love to see him get a dev up because, I love wasting draft picks like Harrington. Rich was obviously a super steal of a draft pick. We got him really late. And then DT, that's going to be one of our big position needs, assuming Trailer doesn't develop. New linebacker definitely could be used, but this team is definitely on the up and up. We have the Vikings offense, Jets defense. Should at least win 6 games, minimum, right? I'd hope a bit of a better season, which is not really hard to believe. We have to pay Lattimore, who is an X factor, so he'll at least get a 1-year deal. Olave, obviously. Brazil, it's a costly one, but I think it's worth it. Foskey's super cheap. And then Kendre Miller as a backup wouldn't be terrible. Ramczyk, we'll see, because he might regress hard. But, yeah, even with those big names, we can afford everyone very easily with $160 million. And yes, it is an improved season because you have to improve from 0-17, but we still end up missing the playoffs with a record of 7-10. I feel like we've gotten a lot better than we were last year as a roster. I feel like 7-10, even that is a little low. Like, let's see, the Vikings, maybe Browns, maybe Buccaneers. I think we should probably be better than them at this point. Definitely should be better than the Falcons and Panthers, I think. Packers, probably better than them. Falcons, Lions, Panthers. Can't win against the Falcons or Panthers on 2 tries in a season. That's just stupid. Like, what overall are we at this rate? 88 overall, despite having a bad season, which means less XP. Let's take a look at the Falcons and Panthers roster. Like, what are we looking at for these two? Panthers are 84. That's 4 overalls less. Falcons, 1 overall less. Buccaneers, 1 overall less. I don't know what to tell you. But, once again, it still was a better year, technically. Let's take a look at the stats and awards, which we obviously aren't in the top 3 for any of these offensive numbers. Morgan was amazing. We went with the Vikings playbook, and it actually is really solid, apparently. Running wasn't that great, but he's a rookie, so what can you say? Receivers, Olave, that should be a dev up. Devontae was pretty good, even though he only had 1 touchdown. McCree was decent. Wilcox was decent. O-line, what do we got? Ruiz was actually really good. Fuaga allowed less sacks than normal, thankfully. Brazil gets paid and deserves it. 11 sacks. Everyone else really disappointing, got to be honest, but 11 sacks. 2 guys over at 100 tackles. Interceptions. Some okay numbers there. Kicking, Dicker was a lot better than our previous kicker. Stockton was actually pretty good. Kicker, return, punt return, nothing. Still missed the playoffs, but it was a better year, and it was more an exciting year because we actually had some pretty good individual seasons as well. McCree was number 2. Trailer was number 2, so 2 awards where we were just barely outside of winning it. And was that that was the rookie. They won Rookie of the Year with Chavez. Or Offensive Lineman of the Year with Chavez, the rookie. I gotta see this guy. Who is he? You can hear that D-pad. It just goes. It is literally like I'm chopping some carrots. That thing go crazy. Where the hell is he? Chavez. 0 sacks allowed as a starter. 87 overall after 1 year. That's crazy. To put it in perspective, our guy was a superstar, and his XP is really low, needed to level up, and he only got to an 80. 99 impact block as well, which is pretty crazy. And he only allowed 6 sacks, which isn't like a crazy, amount to allow. So, yeah, I don't really know how they, decide who gets really high overalls or not. Maybe he was already a really high overall, I don't know. But, Fuaga's played how many years now as already a really high overall, and he's only an 85. So, I'm not really sure what decides it. Maybe he already got XP for winning Offensive Lineman of the Year, something like that. I'm not sure, but either way, we are heading on to year 4 without a playoff berth. Winner of the Super Bowl between the Vikings and the Jaguars. The Vikings, the NFC, is winning some Super Bowls lately. They're on a roll. Let's take a look at the Saints real quick. Backups retire, so no one else, no starters, no Ramczyk or anything like that. So if we want to pay Ramczyk, we can. I've been skipping the storylines because they're just a bunch of bull crap. Yeah, you might get some that are decent. Maybe I should take a look at some because you do get those XP boosts, but for the most part, they've been kind of bullcrap. They've been more negative than positive. Ramczyk, this could be the year we finally, blow up on the scene. Let's do a 1 year 24.5. I'm genuinely shocked that he didn't accept it. Might be able to save money here. Not really, but it's still about what we would have had to pay anyway, so I'll give him the 5th year, or the 5th year option. The tag. We have the money for it anyways, why not? Don't want to get us, into a real-life Saints situation, but, yeah, with 83 mil left, I feel pretty confident. We could spend 30, 40 mil here if we wanted to as well. Linderbaum. We can move over Eric McCoy to guard. Linderbaum at center. Could make that play. Of course, paying a lot of money for O-line at that point, but $16 million per year is a pretty good price. Damn, I don't even know if we can get into this conversation, though. Can we get into this conversation? How much money is this? Even that's only 18 mil per year. Do we even get there? We still don't. I'm not going to do it anymore. That's a lot of money. I'm not going to do it. It's too much money. I was going to. No, I'm not. Brian Branch, not bad. We don't need a safety, though. Don't need an edge rusher. Can't believe he's still only 24. I know he started as a 20-year-old, which is just unbelievable. Really wished it when it showed me a young linebacker that he was off-ball, but he wasn't. And it looks like we will not be grabbing any free agents, I don't think. But that's fine, because we didn't really need much. You know, we could sort of use a lineman. We could use a DT. Mozzie Smith, I don't think is worth it. I'd rather just use Traylor, who we actually didn't even look at DevOps. Maybe Traylor went up in Dev, because he had an okay season. 4 or 5 sacks as a rookie isn't bad. Yeah, I think we're not going to spend anything in free agency. We're going to be safe with our money for once. 90 overall is really nice, though. Pre-draft. Morgan's an X Factor. Really? It was a good year. I didn't know if it was good enough for X Factor, though, but apparently it was. What about wide receiver 2? Olave goes the superstar. Just paid him a 4-year 90, I believe, which is not bad for us. Superstar Dev. Wow, these wide receivers are goated. Wilcox still star Dev, but that's fine. O-line, everyone is, you know, where they are. Defensively, DT does not go up in. Yeah, like, it's weird. It's like you almost want the guy to be a 70 overall. If they're like a 70 overall, they just go goated mode. I guess tackles, 15 tackles for loss is pretty good too, but like, if they're like 72 plus, it's not worth it. If they're 70, they go into like God tier mode. Of course, Kyler Gordon also goes up in Dev, which is great. Rich also went up in Dev, which is great. And then Willie Gay goes up in Dev, which is pretty cool too. I mean, we probably let him go anyways after the season, but it's nice to see the dev ups. I gotta be honest, this is a pretty weak draft class, especially for the things we need. I'm gonna be looking to probably trade down to somewhere in the 20s, maybe even out of the entire first round. Whatever draft trade looks the best. 22 I could live with, but I feel like if I'm gonna trade for a draft pick that isn't this year, I'd rather go like Detroit. You know, I'd rather just go with someone that actually is trading me this year. First round next year. Ooh. That's quite the trade. I don't really need anything this year. Like, if I go to 20s, I'm going for a corner, and I don't need corners. I'm going to go with the Eagles, or give me a full first round next year. Worth it. And that is a fair trade. If they wanted to get up that high, they would have to give up probably a first round next year. Especially since they're a team that's considered to be pretty damn good. And, of course, the player they got was actually pretty solid looking. We have a couple of linemen that are 1 to 2 grade. We have a linebacker, Trent, who's a 1 to 2 grade. And we have that corner who is still somehow there. B's across the board, super athletic. I'm going to grab him just because I have no one else to take. Caleb Gardner was an A+, but he was normal. He was an A+, though. 5 in true talent, but normal. Of course, O-line, these guys look great, but we don't technically need O-line. If I have to, I'll go Rhodes. But we definitely need a linebacker or two. So... yeah, we're going to move on to the late second, early third. And the Vikings are giving me literally the perfect trade. I might even trade 96 to move up. See if those 2 to 3 linemen want to stick around for longer than 2 to 3. There's a bunch of names there. It's better to just click this and figure it out. And one of them is still there. Styles. Sweet. Brady Styles, 6'4", 21 years old, 1 to 2 grade. Boom. He was B-. But he's headed. That's a win. We traded a late third, late fourth, and a late fifth. Actually, the fourth and fifth might not be that late, but the late third to move up to the first pick in the third round with the Chicago Bears, which we're going to be using. Who the hell is this? A 1 to 2 vertical threat tight end. Bro, there's so many good players every time we don't need them. Obviously, we just don't need that position. I think we're going to be taking Trent. What about Barton? How good was Barton? Eli Barton, he has good block shed and zone. I'm going to take Barton first, who is 21 true talent, hidden dev. Technically, we don't even need a linebacker right now, but I'm going to make the trade up anyways. I'm going to go straight up to the Commanders. Let's go to the Commanders. Land ourselves another linebacker who we might not even start this year. I think we could replace Werner, but Willie Gay is still technically pretty damn good. Is that going to be enough? A 5th next year? It's going to be pretty damn close. 5th next year with a 7th this year, which will finish the job. We also do have 2 DTs. Massey, who is 409 pounds, which is just ridiculous. And then you have Trent, who is obviously the 1 to 2 grade middle linebacker, who's not even that fast, but 1 to 2 tells me I don't know if I'm going to have to take him. His potentials looked worse than they actually were, I can't lie. What about Dakota Tart? Dakota Tart doesn't look that fast either. He's a 1 to 2 grade, which means he's going to be a good overall, right? That's what I'm going to take. Trent, 36 true talent. Damn, he's better than I thought he was going to be too. I thought he was going to be normal dev. I thought we made a bad decision, but it turned out to be fine. And then in the 6th round, I take another kicker, or another, well, I guess special teamer, and he's hidden as well. 94 kick power, Greg Reinhardt, who looked to be white, but I guess not. The reverse Jackson. Take a look at the draft recap. 77 overall for the corner, 73, 75, 74, 70. Normal dev for the corner, but how good actually was he? Pretty damn good, I gotta be honest. So we now have 4 really good corners. We have a left guard. I don't really care too much about the devs. And if we're gonna start these guys, we're gonna start them. Eli Barton, right out. We need a right out and a left out, so I guess we'll take a look at the dev here, and then we're going to have to take a look at the other guy's dev, because we're moving him left outside linebacker anyways. Star dev, do we get lucky? Does anyone want to just so happen to be Superstar Plus? Glenn Trent, who I may have called Tart at one point. Maybe I didn't. Maybe that was just actually legitimately the name of the other linebacker we didn't grab. I don't know why I go to the left. It's slower. Star dev for the left outside linebacker, who should be... Nope, didn't go up in overall. Surprise. Back for Season 4. Haven't been able to make the playoffs. This is about the best team we've had so far. 90 overall to start the season. Could use a dev up for Trailer, and then we already have a replacement linebacker for Gay whenever he's gone, if that is this upcoming season. The team is actually really good. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, considering how many... losing seasons we've had in a row, especially one that was literally losing, like we won 0 games. And just like we thought we would, we made the playoffs. If we beat the Cowboys, it doesn't change much, but it would still give me a hope that, hey, if we can beat the Cowboys, maybe we're actually pretty good, and we do beat the Cowboys. Fair enough. We were we didn't even actually win our division, so we weren't even the second, best seed or anything. We were nowhere near. We were the 6th seed. Which is really painful, but let's take a look at the schedule. Didn't change the scheme from last year. It's still the Vikings offense with the Jets defense. Maybe I should have changed the defense, because the defense outside of DT1 was pretty iffy. It seems like it kind of is built towards like what they project to be good, right? Like the Jets on defense are known to have their really good DT1. Maybe that's why the numbers were like that. Olave still, not getting a whole lot of touchdowns for one of these guys. Devontae was the guy to get touchdowns this time, but it is what it is, as long as the team's winning. Defensively, what do we got? 8.5 for Trailer, 8.5 for Chase Young, 6.5 for Brzee, and 5.5 for Foskey, the closest we've seen to a complete season so far. Banfield with 4 interceptions. Kicking, we missed 4 out of 21, which... for a rookie isn't terrible. Stockton was pretty good. Punting, almost 53 yards per punt. Nothing to the special teams. I don't even know why I check it. You, never get a touchdown. Even if you do, who cares? Sweet, you got 1 touchdown. Now what? Who cares? QB at 6. Running back. I thought we would have someone on the list there. I thought Peoples would have made it. Didn't. Wide receivers. A little surprised if Devontae didn't make it. Didn't sneak on. Offensive line. No. D-line. Really? I guess not. Linebackers, no. DB, 10. Kicker, 6. But the biggest thing of them all, finally made the postseason. The problem is we're taking out the Vikings, who have won many playoff games now so far in this sim. They even won the damn Super Bowl, didn't they? What is our focus on the playoff game against the Vikings? We didn't see any obvious one-on-one matchup concerns. We're just going to focus on the D-line being ready. Okay, fair enough. So the plan is to either get our D-line off the blocks, needs work on power moves. I think block shedding. Let's do block shedding. Just because that kind of helps everyone, whereas power or finesse, it only helps literally those types. Which, to be fair, I think we actually, besides DTs, our edge is actually both finesse, I'm pretty sure. Either way, whatever. 92 overalls versus the 87 overall Vikings. Get a little bit of revenge, perhaps, against those Vikings. Every team's got some sort of history with every team, pretty much. This Viking Stadium, though, like all those damn lines on the top coming down for the Shadows. 13-3, pretty good start so far. Halftime score will remain that. The Vikings get a nice touchdown to start the second half, though. Defense is keeping us in it. The offense not really doing that, as 1 touchdown would win it for them, but the defense holds on. We win 24-17. Defense really carried. Let's be so for real. Looking at the numbers. Oh, wow. Morgan was terrible with their own scheme. In fairness, McCarthy wasn't that great either. Rushing was pretty bad. Kendra Miller was actually pretty good, though. We brought Kendra back from free agency, of course. 1 sack for Chase Young, a pick for Cashman and Lattimore. Somebody missed a kick. It was us. Could you imagine we would have lost? The divisional round, please don't be the Cowboys. The Panthers. Wait, did they have a bye week? I need to see. Did they actually win? Wow. I mean, this division glowing up at the same time, I guess, but because even the Buccaneers are there. That's kind of crazy. The Panthers getting a bye week. The number 1 seed in the NFC. That's pretty insane. Let's take a look at the storyline again. We are 7 overalls higher than the Panthers this time, so even higher. And we have that +5 to block shed coming our way again. It worked last time, so why not? Going to the end of the game. Looks like we got to stop. They got to stop. 7-0, 7-7. I don't like the way this has gone because our offense has really struggled to score. And so far, it's becoming true again. The offense is doing literally nothing. Finally, because of a short field, it's a 10-point game. You got to score a touchdown here. You got to score a touchdown. They will, but only 3 minutes left. Third one, you got to have to stop. The game is like basically over if you don't. Got to say, goal line has not really been my friend in these types of situations, but we're going to try. Come on, blow this up. Oh, it's a pass. And we get there instantly. It is rare that you get in that quick. Even if you run commit, under center, doesn't matter. Usually they get it off. We get this stop. It'll be a 3-point game. 7 overalls higher, but somehow they are better than us. But we get the stop, and the game could still be won. Oh, Gillespie's got speed. Look at him go. All the way to the 46-yard line. Perfect time to get some separation for the return. Great blocking. That was beautiful. Let's see if we can win this thing. Forget going for the tie. I'm going to go to the tight end early. Wilcox gets some yardage. Once again, time is not really a problem. Wow. Yeah, unless we win the Super Bowl this year and, that's the end of the rebuild, we might have to change our offensive scheme. 90-plus overall X Factor should not be playing this poorly. And we might have had a touchdown to McCree, but once again, we have no time to throw, even with a running back blocking. They brought 4, and Ryan Ramczyk just gets outran to the outside. He just doesn't engage with the guy. Is that our former safety, by the way? And for the 34-yard line, after that, they wanted me to run the ball. For what? Olave. Perfect throw to the 7. I was thinking maybe that was too aggressive, and I was like, you know what? If it's going to get you a touchdown, it's never too aggressive. And honestly, you maybe come into this with a run. Try to get that clock down a little bit. And if you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown. You can't... If you have a touchdown, you cannot worry about, oh, they might score. You got to take it. Because no touchdown, nothing is guaranteed. Forget the NFL, just in life, nothing's guaranteed. And I think we'll win the game. We will. 28-24. What a little bit of a comeback. The Panthers, who are looking really primed with that first round bye as well, lose the game, and despite Luke Morgan playing like absolute crap, we're going to hold on. Peoples did have a lot of touchdowns, in fairness. That is 3 touchdowns, but still, I don't know what's going on with this passing attack. It is non-existent. Please don't be the Cowboys. Please don't be the Cowboys. Oh, please tell me they struggled. You've got to at least tell me they struggled somewhere. They beat Tampa by 12, and then they beat Philly by 7. Okay, so they didn't really struggle per se, but we have seen better instances for the Cowboys. We've seen them completely blow teams out, so it is what it is. New storyline. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a +5 to block shedding, and it's a bit of a trend. Hell yeah, I think we are. It's a trend that's working. I'm down. We're doing it again. +5 to block shedding. History has been on our side with this. Of course, the highest overall team we have faced thus far, but still 2 overalls lower than us. Morgan's not played well, but he's a really good overall quarterback. It's been a big factor for us, being as high of an overall as we are. 3-0. Defense is doing its job as it usually does. 10-0. Better than usual offense, though. 13-0 at halftime. It's still way too early to be excited. Field goals aren't going to win you the game, I don't think. Maybe I'm eating my words. Obviously, we got a couple of touchdowns in there anyways, but we beat the Dallas Cowboys to make it to the Super Bowl. And once again, this is a different kind of scheme. It's not like we're running the Chiefs because we're frustrated. Sure, the Vikings have seen some success from them, but it's a different scheme. We won. We did well with the Packers offensive scheme in the Packers rebuild, and now we're with the Vikings scheme in this Saints rebuild. We're mixing it up about as much as you can. If you're expecting a win, Morgan, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 254 yards. Finally, a good base performance. Peoples, good yards per carry, but, nothing crazy going on there. Olave was pretty good. Wilcox was pretty good. Devontae Smith, with a touchdown. Fuaga gave up 2 sacks, probably against Parsons, though, to be fair. So, yeah, 1 for Parsons, 1 for Odigizua. Chase Young was great. Pick for Garner. I mean, who would have thought he would even come into the game? He's corner 4. Team effort. We'll win a damn Super Bowl as a team. And I don't want us to get too ahead of ourselves, but I'm pretty sure on the other side, it's like Raiders, Jaguars or something. It's like, not your usual there either. And it's going to be the Jaguars. It was Raiders versus Jaguars in the championship round, and the Jaguars won. I mean, I suppose let's take a look at, even checking all the previous games thus far. Jaguars beat the Bills by 14. Then they beat the Chiefs by 3. And then the Raiders by 7. Okay? I mean, we know what we got to do. We got to beat the Jaguars. First things first, so let's take a look at the press conference. Then the dev-ups. Then we'll head on to the Super Bowl. Or are we going to get a boost for pass blocking for our left guard? You're all pass blocking by 1. Wow, by a whole 1 point? It's over. They can't beat us now. They'll never get through him. 1. A whole press conference for 1 pass block. I don't see a dev up on offense, unfortunately, but that's fine because the team was already pretty good. Defensively, Banfield, he was not X Factor, right? I think Banfield was only superstar still. Pretty sure. Yeah, he was. So we got 1 dev up on the whole team, but it's fine because it's a pretty big one. Of course, we said kind of potentially our new Demario Davis, but actually was something that potentially is coming true here. Here it is, though. They're an 88 overall. We're a 92 overall. Let's win a Super Bowl, damn it. Here it is for all the marbles. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, they start out with 7. We bounce back with 7, though. They get another 7. We get nothing. We finally get a stop. Halftime score down 7. I don't know what's going on if we're, turning the ball over a lot, but it seems like it's going back and forth quite a bit. And we won. I was ready to go to overtime. We win the game. 24-21. The Saints have won another Super Bowl over the Jaguars. Not really again over the Jaguars. You know what I mean, damn it. But over another AFC South team, I suppose. As the new-look Saints are on top of the football world once again. It's been a little bit of time in between. Feels like they've been on a real downward slope ever since losing Breeze. Quarterback has been a real issue. They've competed for as much as they have without really having, that guy at quarterback. Morgan, it's weird because he's got the overall of that guy, but for the most part really hasn't played like it. I mean, he's good enough here, really good completion percentage, did throw that pick, but, outside of this performance where he was really accurate, really not a whole lot of great performances in general. Peoples was pretty good. McCree, out of nowhere, doing really well. We got 2 top-tier wide receivers. Pretty good tight end. Sack totals, a lot of 1-sack performances. Lattimore and Joseph with picks on each respective sides. No missed kicks. We were just slightly better. That's all there was to it. All there's left to do with another year 4 Super Bowl win, man. It's always been. Year 4 is the magic number in these rebuilds since, I don't even know which Madden, really, but it's just been the magic number. Devontae Smith, he actually didn't really go up too much since we traded for him. He went up 2 overalls, but obviously really talented. Let's take a look at Olave. He also kind of struggled to go up in overall. He's a 91 overall. Starts at 86 or 87. Still young, though. 27 could, still develop a little bit. But a little bit better release, but a little bit worse in the route running. Then we look over at the running back position. Peoples, who's still really, really young. 23, 24 years old. 91 trucking, 87 stiff arm. All the speed in the world. Acceleration as well. I will say, didn't go up in speed or excel, though. I don't think since getting him. McCree's all the way to 83 overall. Definitely a better development than I thought he was going to have. Great medium and short route running with catching. Really sucks, though. So, I guess he is the perfect slot, if you will. And then we look... Oh, I do not want to go to the defense just yet. We'll look at the tight end. We obviously need to look at Fuaga as well because he's a real-life first-rounder they just took. Wilcox, speed is there. Catching's there, obviously. The route running's pretty damn good. Really solid tight end. Take a look at now the quarterback, Mr. Luke Morgan. Still really young. X Factor with... just amazing accuracy. 94 deep, 94 medium, 93 short, 94 throw power. He's basically 94 everything. 94 play action, 94 under pressure. He's literally 94 everything. Of course, speed never went up, I don't believe. Break sack's still low, but pretty good ratings, I suppose. McCoy is still really good at 30 years old. Super good finesse blocker. Probably even move him to tackle if Ryan Ramczyk was gone. Sooner than that, I would have moved him to right tackle probably. But Fuaga, 87 overall. The finesse blocking's not as good, so maybe even argue moving him to guard, but he's good. Now I move on to the defensive side of the ball. I do want to see Willie Gay because he's an 84 overall. With his starting point of, 76, 77 normal. I think he did way better than we could have ever imagined. Now we look at Banfield, who is an 89 overall. Really good block shed, amazing zone coverage, pretty good man coverage. He's actually kind of goated. You would love to see a speed upgrade or two, but 87 speed also can get it done. Then we got Eli Barton. Really good block shed, athletic as hell as well, but coverage nowhere near as good. Kyler Gordon actually went up higher in overall for us this latest season than the first year we had him. Very good zone coverage, obviously athletic. Really built perfectly to play free safety. Then we look at Burton, who glowed up really nicely too. 88 overall, 89 zone coverage, really good hit power. I think that went up like 2 overalls. Solid tackling. Speed, once again, I also don't think went up. Speed seems to be a little bit more rare this year than previous years, which probably makes sense because speed used to be just so common. You'd get a speed upgrade all the time. Marshawn Lattimore, still going up in overall. He's regressing, I imagine, but not as bad as you would think. Awesome to see him as an X factor right out the gate. Definitely helps out quite a bit. McKinstry, he did really well year 1 as well, and he didn't even start till like week 8 or 9. Kool-Aid McKinstry, 98 man coverage, 92 press. That's how you want to develop him. He's, the press goblin. He's the press man goon. Let's take a look now at Mr. Rich, Juan Rich, 82 overall. Really good press man corner as well. Might as well build the factory the way it is. Then we look at the D-line, where I'm actually kind of curious to see Brazil. We have Chase Young, who is 28 years old, 92 finesse, 92 block shed. That is so balanced. He's ridiculous. Let's take a look at the other side now. Mr. Foskey, 86 overall, 26 years old. He's actually a power guy, not a finesse guy. How are these block sheds going up so high, though? Is Power Rusher just then again, Chase Young had... Or is the +5 block shed... Were we actually getting that, to keep? There's no way we're actually getting to keep that, right? The fact that Brazil's block shed is 91, though, tells me maybe we were. So the +5 block shed we were getting in the playoffs wasn't just for the game, it was just in general? Or is this just how upgrades go? Because we did get +10, +15 if you count them all. 96 finesse, 87 block shed for trailer, by the way. This team is... super sleeper. We got the sleeper build on lock. Special teamers. Some of you guys do go kind of freaky for the special teamers, so why not? Stockton, 96 kick power, 80 accuracy. I think he had 93 kick power to start, if I'm not mistaken. And then we look over at the kicker, Greg Reinhardt, who is 96. I think he started at 94 as well. So +2/3 for the 2. Either way, if you guys enjoy this one, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate good sport on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. Like I said, tomorrow, gonna give the Superstar mode one more go. Give it another episode. If you guys are really interested, we'll keep it going. If not, it's Superstar mode. It's usually not something that lasts super long, but I'm down for whatever. And we'll probably have the How to Draft a Perfect Fantasy Draft Guide team, assuming I get all that done. And, there's actually something to follow, because sometimes, they change the game up and the trends aren't the trends, but could be a third video. Who knows? Patriots franchise will probably be back on Wednesday. 2 episodes yesterday, so give it a look anyways. You got plenty to look at there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, suggest some teams for us to rebuild. Maybe some challenges as well. See ya! Damn allergies.